Alright, now after having done sole proprietorship form of an organization, the second option that a proprietor has to himself is of starting up as a joint Hindu undivided family business. This is the second form of organization. But for anyone to be starting a business under the head of joint Hindu undivided family business, there are two conditions which are required to be fulfilled. Now what are those two conditions? Number one, a minimum of 2 members must be there in the family. Minimum of 2 members must be there in the family, and secondly, there has to be some kind of an ancestral property. There has to be inheritance of some kind of an ancestral property. Inheritance or existence of some kind of ancestral property. Only then can you be starting your business as joint Hindu undivided family business. It is basically it comes under the purview of Hindu law. It comes under the purview of Hindu law, Hindu Succession Act 1956, right? It is regulated by Hindu Succession Act 1956. Now, there are two systems of inheritance, okay? In joint Hindu family business only, there are two systems of inheritance by the name of Dayabhaga and Mitakshara, right? Dayabhaga and Mitakshara. Dayabhaga system is basically prevalent in West Bengal, wherein only when both male and female, right, they are allowed to be a part of the business. Fine. And the other system is Mitakshara, wherein only male members of the family, they are allowed to be a part of the business. Alright. Now coming to explain you what exactly is joint Hindu family business. जो बड़ी बड़ी joint families होती हैं, right, उसमें सबसे बड़ा आदमी जो होता है, the one who is the eldest of all, okay, he is called as the karta or mukhya. He is the karta or the mukhya, right? He is one person who is going to control the entire business, take all the important decisions related to the business, right? Rest all the members of the family, they are going to be called as co-partners. They are called as co-partners, and they all have to abide by the decisions which have been taken by the karta, right? Now, when we talk of Dayabhaga and Mitakshara, in case of Dayabhaga, both male and female, they are allowed to become the co-partners in the business, whereas in Mitakshara, only male members are allowed to become the co-partners. Are we clear? Alright. Now coming to the features of joint Hindu family business. First, formation. Now joint Hindu family business, it is formed by the provisions of Hindu Succession Act 1956, right? Provisions of Hindu Succession Act, it is Hindu Succession Act 1956. Membership is by birth, right? The minute you are born in the family, you become a member of the family business, right? You become entitled to the profits and losses of the business. Then comes control. Who controls the business? It is the karta or the mukhya of the family who is going to take charge of the business, who is going to control the business, take all important decisions of the business. Then coming to liability. In case of liability, here we will say the liability of karta is unlimited and the liability of co-partners is limited. Liability of karta is unlimited, meaning karta's personal assets can be involved in paying off the business liabilities. But whereas co-partners liability is only limited to their share in the property. जितना उनका property में share है, वो चला जाएगा pay off करने के लिए liability, पर उनके personal assets नहीं utilize होंगे. Clear? Then continuity. If karta dies, the next person, ठीक है, the next ender person can become the karta, right? And So therefore the continuity of the business is not disturbed. Last is minor members. Even minor can become the member of a joint Hindu undivided family business, because here the membership is by birth, right? So as soon as a person is born, he becomes a member of the family business. Now what are the merits? First is effective control. Since Karta is the one who controls all the affairs of the business, right? Manages the entire business, takes all important decisions. Therefore, his control is pretty much effective. Decisions can be taken quickly because he doesn't have to consult. He doesn't really have to consult too many people for taking a decisions, and his decisions are a binding on the other members of the family. They abide by the decisions taken by the Karta. Secondly, continued business existence. Since if the Karta dies, right, the next older member in the family can become the Karta or the Mukhya. So the business continuity is not disturbed or perturbed. Business will continue to exist even if the Karta dies. The next elder member in the family will become the Karta. Limited liability of the members. The liability, this is an advantage, that liability of the co-partners is limited. That means only their share in the property, in the family property, that will be utilized in case of a loss to pay off the business liabilities. Last is high degree of loyalty and cooperation. Since it is their family business, they are not working for an outsider, right? So they have their loyalty towards their business, right? They are never going to indulge into any kind of unfair trade practice or unfair means, right, to make secret gains. So they are loyal towards their organization, and because it's a family, they cooperate with one another. Then comes limited resources. Again, because we are here only relying on the inherited ancestral property, right? Inherited ancestral property, so therefore as far as the financial resources are concerned, they are pretty much limited. They are pretty much limited. And as far as the managerial resources are also concerned, limited managerial skills. Here also, because all the decisions are taken by Karta, Karta may not be good in everything, right? He may not be good at motivating people, he may not be good at communication, right? He may not be good at several other things, right? So therefore for all you know, the decisions taken by him are all wrong, and he may be taking poor decisions, right? Because every person cannot be good at all aspects of management. Unlimited liability of Karta. Karta's liability is going to remain unlimited. Even his personal assets are going to be utilized for paying off the business assets. Then comes dominance of Karta. Now many a times it so happens, because we said that Karta is the one who's going to take all the decisions, and the co-partners, whether they like it or not, they have to abide by the decisions taken by Karta. This may sometimes lead to a kind of conflict. They may feel that they are being dominated by Karta, although they are a part of the family, but they don't have much of a say in the business. Clear? So I hope the features, merits and demerits, they are pretty clear for joint Hindu family business.